When writing my books, I actually try to focus on several sexual educational topics, if that made sense to you. So I'm just going to go through each of my books and the different topics I try to touch on. And I'll start with Gaga Crazy. Gaga Crazy is like abstinence and phone sex and all that. Next is Bottom Belly. That one, my plan was just to show the nuance when a younger person is dating an older person, like all the things you have to consider. But I ended up writing a light BDSM romance that has to do with praise kink and a bit of voyeurism. And then I moved into Goodie Bag, which actually deals with dry vaginas. Not every time you touch the lady and she's always wet down there. You can introduce lube while having sex. Then move on to Every Breath I Take, Every Step I Make, and Every Move I Make, where I delved into anal sex, and then long distance relationship and toxic relationships, knowing red flags, and then knowing the green flags, things to look out for, people that are open to communication and all that. That's the Every Breath I Make, that's the All of Me series. It's a textbook on its own. And then there's also Call Me Jamila, which explores period sex and then what it takes to be in a healthy relationship and all that. And next we move on to Yoruba Demon Femi, where I also ventured into males downplaying their abuse, not knowing that they were actually being abused as kids, but they see it as and also in All of Me, that's the Every Breath I Take. But I actually also delved into paying for sex and some people how they well, I hurt myself and I didn't even know, and how they see themselves. Well, with Yoruba Demon Femi, I was exploring. I think that's one of my books where I actually did sex after marriage. In the book with Gaga Crazy, I did that, but that was in the extended epilogue. So with Femi, it was like after marriage. So you can imagine a Yoruba Demon waiting until after marriage to do the do. And then I also, what did I explore with Yoruba Demon? Oh, that was just plain sex. With Femi, I also did IUDs and all that stuff, like going to the gynae, the importance of it. Now with Somi and her baby story, I'm exploring a little bit of trauma. You won't actually notice it until the very end. So what or which of these stories have actually spoken to you? What have you learned? Or which one did you notice? Or which one would you love to see more of in my books? Because sex education is very wide. The next one I want to do is a story that's, has some sort of STI in it. Oh, the one I did with Lani actually. Eoli, Adiola's books. Yeah, we are actually touching on HIV, AIDS, and all that's in that one. But I'm going to go into STIs, like people going into relationship with people that have herpes and other STIs, or catching STIs while in relationships. So tell me, what sex ed stuff have you learned? Oh, yeah, you learn a lot when you read my books. Subtle, but very impactful. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, I'm Kama, the eccentric diva.